Sudip Bandyopadhyay is also joining us. Thanks very much for that. Sudip, let's talk about some other matches apart from IPL, which is happening in the market, and Bulls are clearly leading right now. So it was a very short-lived and swift correction, if I might call it. Now that we are a rebound, 8 to 10% on mid-cap, small-cap from March lows. Did you participate in cherry picking in these last 2-3 weeks in your portfolios or in your clients?
Well, Ajay, I've been advising clients to do that. In fact, we were very clear that the long-term secular trend is positive. Structurally, nothing has altered. It was just a phase of profit booking, consolidation, whatever name you call. And in some cases, a little bit of froth also was there, which was going out of the market. So it was par for the course after such a huge rally over an extended period of time. Some amount of consolidation is definitely welcome and it's good for the health of the market. So, we were pretty confident that we are in a structural bull phase and we will keep inching upwards. Medium and long-term trajectory hasn't changed at all. So absolutely right, Ajay. But having said that, I will also, put in a word of caution. Today, tomorrow, I think a lot of adjustments, a lot of year-end transactions are happening. We also have this, the index closures and all that. So I think we have to be a little careful and we have to take today's and tomorrow's rates with a pinch of salt. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that the markets will move in a positive trajectory. It just means that today and tomorrow, a lot of transactions are happening, will happen, which may not reflect the true spirit or true the value. And we will probably get to see the real picture from 1st April onwards.
The litmus test. But Sudip, dodging the ball here, tell us what is it that you bought in the recent decline, even if a sectoral color is what you can give us.
No, Aisha, I've been positive and I think I've been talking in your shows as well that infrastructure, construction, I think that remains my favorite theme. And I believe that's a story which is going to run for a very long time. Look at the capex. I think it's a huge.
I'll try and connect with you back. We're facing some audio issue with your connection. In fact, on that note, we'll try and get him. Try and get Sudip back online. But before that, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Closing Trades. When we come back, we'll talk about markets, which is actually currently off the day's highest point.
Let's come back and talk about some specific stock ideas. I was discussing the charts of IFL Finance, which crashed in the middle of a massive panic, regulatory action to 320 odd. Today has come back to 350. How do the charts look like? Constructive, Kunal?
Yeah, they're very constructive. So, the selling in the last 10 days, I'm not talking about the selling which happened on the back of that sharp cap down, but the selling in the last 10 days was on the back of much lower volumes. So the cumulative volumes for the stock in that selling was almost 80 lakhs to 1.2 CR for the stock in the last 8-10 days. And today's volume itself is almost 80 lakh plus for the stock, which means that entire selling has been absorbed. And today's rise is a clear indication that a major bottom is now in place for the stock. Then we look out for the next or the first set of targets for the stock. And that happens when the first circuit was opened for the stock. And that was, I think, 383, 380 levels for IFL Finance. That becomes the first set of targets on the upside.
Right. A lot of other names which are in focus. We were chatting with the management of L&T as well, although just one key vertical. But L&T Construction has won multiple orders worth about 2,500 to 3,000 odd crore rupees for buildings, factory businesses in the domestic as well as international market. And Ajay, just what they were talking about today in terms of the potential from the Middle East region and the kind of order book visibility that they have and across segments, considering L&T is a conglomerate.
But I must tell you something. I mean, I remember a year back, I was talking to Mr. Nayak around it. If you have to play Middle East growth, just like India, today somebody was telling us that Saudi Arabia is planning a 2040 vision, just like we are having a Viksit Bharat by 2047. They have a new Saudi Arabia vision of 2040. And if there is one company which is a direct play on India as well as Middle East, then that's L&T. 30% of revenues are coming from Middle East. Many other companies are also doing well, but they have a smaller contribution coming in. Kunal, this 37,3,800 level, as we were discussing, turns out to be last time we retreated from that level. Do you think it will get crossed this time?
So volumes are a bit okay for the stock. So I would probably expect the stock to consolidate over here for some more time. But the stock rarely gives that opportunity of a correction. So a 10%, 15% correction for L&T historically has proven to be a very good entry point for the stock. So I think it corrected from 3,700 odd levels to 3,350, 400 mark in the month of January, February, first half. And from there, the stock has come back to the 3,700 level. So it's not like a V-shaped recovery, but more like a U-shaped recovery. But very rare chances that the stock gets into a correction. So I think the best strategy over here is that even if it's a 5% odd correction for the stock from the previous swing highs, that's a good enough starting opportunity for someone who's missed out.
Sudeep, do you concur with that view? Any price is a good price for L&T for the long-term players, of course.
Absolutely, Aisha. In fact, in the earlier segment, when you were asking me about stocks, I was going to mention that L&T has been one stock which I have been buying and recommending buy for a very, very long time. I think, Ajay was absolutely right. It's a play not only on India growth story, but also on the Saudi Arabia growth story. I think, they are one of the most respected construction companies, infrastructure companies in Saudi Arabia as well. And with Saudi Arabia rebuilding and building itself, L&T is getting multiple opportunities of participating in that growth. Also remember that these are contracts with better margins. In case of L&T, the earlier low margin contracts are getting exhausted, and that's good for the margin profile of L&T overall. I think going forward, you'll see a L&T with a much better margin profile. Also, remember this hydrocarbon infrastructure, hydrocarbon capex also has picked up in Middle East, and that definitely again is helping L&T because they are a recognized player there as well. So considering everything, considering the way Indian government is spending money in infrastructure, Saudi Arabian government is spending money on infrastructure, I think you can't go wrong with L&T. If you have 1 year kind of time horizon, even at 3,700 level, there's absolutely no problem in buying L&T.
Problem in buying L&T as well. And in fact, what's interesting, Aisha and Ajay, no doubt we did speak about how West Asia, Middle East is very crucial for our Indian companies, and we'll just in a short while play bites of the companies. But today, interestingly, you had two other companies also talk about Middle East. One is Gensol Engineering has named a new CEO for the Middle East business. As well as you have RITES, which has opened a new office in the Middle East as well.
PSUs.
Yeah, PSUs as well.
Interesting.
So yes, definitely Middle East is the talk of the town or the flavor coming in for the Indian companies. But here are what the Indian infra players had to say about the golden opportunity that they are witnessing in the West Asian region, L&T, KEC International, as well as V8 Wabag.
Businesses where we are really focusing in the Middle East are, as I said, hydrocarbon and solar park and related energy storage solution projects. Here we see an opportunity of almost close to about maybe 50 to 60 billion dollars of prospects over the next 3 years. $20 billion roughly per year is the kind of pipeline we see, and it could grow even further. It depends on how the oil prices remain, where the oil prices remain, and how much additional capital gets attracted to these sectors.
T&D is growing very well. Part of it is on the back of global shortages also, especially if you look at the North America market and more specifically United States. That was a market which was actually earlier served by Turkey and China. Today, with all the geopolitical issues and other problems which these countries are facing, most of the demand, whether it is for transmission towers, conductors, or even insulators, has now shifted to India. And clearly, the way they are looking at the development of NEOM and all the renewables, especially in Saudi, UAE, and now even in Oman, I think these are the three countries where we are seeing a lot of demand coming in on account of energy transition. One is for solar projects and also for transmission projects.
We see desalination, wastewater treatment and reuse as being a very, very big set of drivers in this region. if you look at the sizes of projects that we see in the Middle East, nothing less than 400-500 MLD of desalination plants. So the sizes that we see there over the next 3-4 years, at least on a visibility, projects that are now announced are close to 3-4 billion. In various stages, I would say RFP, pending RFP, we have already put out bids for close to $1 billion of projects in the region, or working on projects which are in this set. So for us, this is a very, very key market, and we see this only going up in the next years.
Okay, that's a slice of the Middle East opportunity and what it means really for investors, 3 of the companies that we did profile. But time to wrap up for the day. Let me just quickly take it across to our charters, get in some BTST trades before that. Kunal?
So I'll go with 2 buy calls. The first one is about Max Financial Services. That stock is looking very attractive. It's closing in towards a gap which was created a couple of months back for the stock. So buy with a target of 1045, stop loss at 994. And Jyoti CNC is the other stock which is looking very attractive. That stock was trading almost at 775, 780 levels. Excellent volumes and strong pickup in terms of trends. Would suggest a buy. 825 immediate target, stop loss at 760.
Right. Naresh, what about your BTST ideas?
So first would be a buy on Indian Hotels, good momentum here, stop loss at 583, target price of 600. Second would be a buy on L&T, momentum again here, stop loss at 3690, target price of 3800.
Right, okay, just 30 seconds left to go before we wind up for the day. But Sudip, good to have you on the show as always. Kunal, Naresh, we'll see you again tomorrow morning. But we wind.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.